it is still a morning show right here, the one we call Morning Spice on the Flow of God's Own State. Friday broadcast of our programmings on the Flow of God's Own State, Flow 94.9 FM. And this is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions. We deal with critical issues as it is affecting you and I, and we dissect them for your good and so that you can make better decisions in the nearest future. Welcome on board again. The program runs every Monday, every Wednesday, and also every Friday right here on the Flow of God's Own State, Flow 94.9 FM. My name is Michael Oni. This morning we're talking Abia, and we're looking at the state of the opposition parties in Abia State from another perspective. You know, we've been talking about it severally, and well, interestingly, the race for the 2023 general elections is already on. The intrigues are playing out already, and also consensus, fence mending, and also some of those intrigues that play out rather before the 2023 general elections, before any general elections, so to speak. You know, since 1999, the contest over who will become the governor of Abia State has not been as heated as what is going on right now towards 2023. Even the issue of zoning is playing out, and there's also the issue of opposition party becoming so strong. I don't think we've had this hot before in Abia State, except during the time of PPA, when we had a very strong opposition, and also Abga too has been a very strong opposition. But it looks like we're having about three parties now that are in the forefront of producing who will be the governor of Abia State. Anyways, let's delve into the conversation this morning proper. I start bringing my analyst, my guest. He's joining me virtually this morning, a former commissioner for finance in Abia State, a member of the APC, a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, a former member of the PDP before he moved to APC. So we get to know once again why he moved anyways when we delve into the conversation this morning. Chief Obi Nauriaku is joining me virtually. Glad to have you join us, Chief. Good morning to you, and welcome to the platform on Flow FM.
Good morning, Oni, and good morning, Abians.
All right, thank you very much for joining us, and let's begin the conversation. So much is happening, is playing out. I know you're following what is playing out as far as the polity is concerned. Let's talk about the state of affairs in your party. So much of intrigues is playing out, and it is still playing out. The shifting of ground by the governors. First, you had a date for the national convention. It was moved, and also the crisis rocking the party, even though it has been denied severally that there were no crises in your party right here in Abia State. What do you make of what is playing out in your party as we speak today?
Well, we are talking about a party that produced about 22 governors, and then like Rufai will always reference, if you include the deputy governor of Anambra, we are talking about 23 states. Definitely there must be issues, you know, which also they have the capacity to resolve. It's a party that's very resilient, and they've been able to manage it, because before now we all are washed with stories about dissenting voices from left, right, and center. But it just took only 15 minutes meeting with the president, and then the storm calmed down. So now we are looking forward to the convention come 26th, and the activities leading to the convention have just started, unlike what we had before the last date, which was supposed to be 26th of February. Today we have the convention committees, the subcommittees, the list are all out. People now know their functions and what they are supposed to do. And then, of course, the offices have also been made public. We are meant to understand that all the offices held by the North, they were shifted to the South. That of the South back to the North. This, of course, is also in line with what PDP did. So we don't have cause to worry as a party, because they have internal mechanism to withstand any any overflow of those
you say the
reactions.
party has internal mechanism of resolving some of these issues. Well, it is a known fact that the party has been grappling with some issues at the national level. You've mentioned the national level. What about the state levels now, as far as 2023 elections is concerned? For example, you belong to the party right here in Abia State. You're a member of the party, Abia State chapter, before belonging to the party at the national level. So, what do you make of the state of affairs of the party? Because at some point there were issues of factionalization of the party right here in Abia State. Has that been resolved also?
To the extent that you don't hear much about it, tells you that a lot is going on underground. We know that our problem or the disagreement we had is not system. I mean, it's not that serious to the extent that we cannot sit down and agree. A lot is going on behind the scene, and that is why you don't hear different factions. Unlike a few months ago when this person will come on air and talk about it and talk about. So a lot is going on. Be rest assured that APC is one in Abia, and we are not going to, go further than that. And also, what buttresses what I'm saying is that you don't see incidents of people moving out. Assuming our faction is well pronounced, maybe if another person has issues, you find out people defecting to ABGA or defecting to PDP or going to any other place. What you find out, people are still where they are, because a lot of people expect APC to provide the needed leadership to turn around the fortunes of our state, Abia State.
Okay, APC to turn around the fortunes of the state. But as we speak, those issues should be resolved before you go for the national convention, because issues of who are the delegates now, the delegates that will vote in the convention, might be a very big issue. Because as it stands now today, as we speak, as far as we know, I mean, members of the fourth estate of the realm, there are two persons laying claim to being the chairman of the party in Abia State, even though the national body presented certificate of return to another person, to one of them, Dr. Kingsley Ononubu. So as we speak, beyond the semantics that you've used this morning, that things are going on at the background that we may not see, what is the true state of affairs? What is the present state of APC in Abia State? I'm sure the followers of the party, indeed watchers of nation's democracy, would like to know the state of affairs of the party, being one of the major opposition parties in the state.
APC is intact. APC as a family is resolute on working hard to make sure that the wishes of Abians are achieved through the other platform. And now, another thing I also want to let you know is that in view of the issues in some states, which of course includes Abia, yes, from what I heard, that the convention will be handled through the statutory delegates. So we are not going to have issues of who is in charge, who is not in charge. So we know those that are statutory delegates, past House of Assembly members, past senators, past all anybody that has gone through elective position before statutorily must vote on that day, whether it's affirmation or mail voting. So we have taken good care of that one, so that when the new leadership comes in, whatever is still the gray areas left over will be resolved peacefully. So there's no need to worry. There's no need to panic about what is going on in the party. Instead, it has made us stronger. People are now more dedicated than before. So
maybe that will take me to the next question before we delve in proper into how prepared your party is for the 2023 general elections. We do not see more of opposition parties off election period. We see them only during election period. Opposition parties, as we know, according to democracy, are meant to keep the ruling party in checks, especially those in power in checks, by calling them out and asking questions concerning some of those decisions that they make, that they take during their tenure. Well, we do not see more of that right here in Abia State. Why do you think so, and how can we depart from this norm? Opposition parties are only vibrant only during electioneering period.
Well, like you rightly pointed out when you were doing your introductory speech, you said that Abia predominantly used to be PDP, but gradually, opposition parties are coming up. So you can imagine what you are saying, that opposition parties are evolving. So what it means that it's a gradual improvement from what they used to be. You'll also find out that as it is today, like the analysis, this is the first time you see the ruling party a bit jittery. This is the first time you are seeing them a bit worried.
Why do you think they are jittery? They look, they don't appear jittery as we speak, Chief Obina Riako. Why do you think they are jittery? I mean, there will be some pointers to what you're linking to that they are jittery.
You know, internally there's a lot going on in the ruling party, which of course I don't need to dabble into the internal affairs. I'm focused on what we need to do as opposition party to reclaim the state and of course reposition Abia State.
Interesting.
So, but for all intent and purpose, just kindly note that the ruling party, they are not as solid as they used to be. We know we have factions in that area, but like I told you, it is not my concern to come here and talk about their problem. I'm focused about mine and the future of the state.
Okay, let's talk about how prepared your party, as one of the opposition parties in Abia State, is ahead of the 2023 general elections. You mentioned that PDP is jittery, looking at how strong APC is in Abia State. I think we should use the last election that took place as maybe as one of the ways to gauge what you've said, if I can put it that way. The election in Abia, the by-election, at the end of the day, your party didn't do well. What has changed from then till now that you think PDP is jittery ahead of the 2023 general elections? And how strong is your party? Your party, with what we have on ground today, is very strong in Abia North Senatorial District, where we have lawmakers representing the federal level, in the National Assembly, lawmakers, even in the State Assembly. But what about the chances of your party in other senatorial zones?
Okay, if we want to do comparative analysis of APC
exactly
in Abia, you find out that in 2015, APC contested elections and they lost out completely. They couldn't even win a House of Assembly in 2015. In 2019, APC was able to come up with a senator, with 2 House of Rep members, with 2 House of Assembly members. Today, due to the performance of these people that were elected, which means their growth came up organically. We didn't buy these people, because when you want to compare party growth, you look at it, you appraise it better when people vote and you win election than when you defect. When you defect, defection will not give you a true picture of your acceptance at any point in time. But if you go through an election process, campaign and win an election, you can go home and sleep that these are your people. So APC won these elections. Now, on top of that, we also have seen those that have moved and joined APC. You have the likes of Honorable would have joined. We have the likes of the member representing Aruchukwu that have joined. So what it means now, we have 3 House of Rep members, 3 House of Assembly members, and of course 1 senator. Now, also knowing that this same set of people have redefined the representation. I'm not making words, all of us are witness to it. One of the major projects that shocked me was the project that is located between Absu and Accra Junction. Last December, as I was using that route, I was trying to be careful when to make a detour into the cashew plantation. I never knew that place has been completely taken care of. So what does it tell you? That these representatives are redefining representation. This is something that wasn't done for 16 years. And they've been able to do that, connecting communities, connecting villages. So if APC had 60,000 votes, for example, in the last election in Abia North, with what this set of people have done, I'm sure they're going to have 80. Now, also knowing that performance is infectious, just like poor performance also affects other areas. So we want to believe that the performance of these people will be a reference point for anybody contesting, because if they were able to do it in the north, we can also be able to do it in Abia Central and of course in the south. That is also not far from what we are seeing today, that under the watch of Honorable Onibo, the road from the hospital, the FMC, to our boundary with Akwa Ibom has been awarded, and contractor just moved to site. It's unprecedented. Remember that he was in PDP, he couldn't do it. Now he has gone to APC, he has seen light of the day. So now coming to what happened in Aba,
okay,
I will be happy if the ruling party goes into another election thinking that what happened in Aba will play back again.
So are you saying what changed from then till if you compare with what happened then and now, what changed?
Now what has changed is that when the Abba election came, it wasn't really the Abba North and South that played into it.
Okay.
A lot of sentiment came into play. We brought Borabo into it. Yes, that has to do with election. However, I know a number of people that moved from Aruchuku, from Igbere, from Item, to come and either witness the election or part of the election in Aba. So if you want to judge it that way, on the general election, everybody will be in his polling unit. You won't mobilize people and go and filtrate hotels, with youths or with boys, and now try and manipulate and also scare away the eligible voters. Everybody will be in his polling unit. So don't use that as a reflection of the acceptance of APC in Aba.
Okay.
I joined the campaign. I saw how we are received. I know that there was excitement in the air, and I keep saying it, that Aba situation requires federal intervention. I said it on air that if we shut down the state allocation for 2 years to 3 years, it's not enough to reclaim that town. I joined the campaign and noticed that people stay in Port Harcourt Road for 3 years, not knowing that there is any place called Market Square. They stay in Port Harcourt Road area as named 2 villages. They don't know there is a place called Domino Pizza, because they don't have business with this part of the town. They are totally disconnected. And it's a rot that started years back. And it's only the federal government that can declare emergency on those locations and be able to interconnect these cities. If you go there, all the people that have cars have all jacked up their cars. They don't access anywhere with any vehicle. They only use Okada. And that Okada, you must be careful so that you won't have issues with it. So it's a major issue that goes beyond party. I told them it's not about party. It's not about who is there. I'm talking about what I observed. How totally detached these people are in a place that is just less than 5 kilometers.
Maybe we should use that opportunity to talk about the state of affairs. How will you rate Abia State in the Committee of States, especially using Okezie Ikpeazu's administration as a yardstick? And what does your party intend to do differently? Because it looks like you're so confident that your party will take over in 2023, looking at your analysis this morning.
Well, like I said too, it will be very unfair of you to expect me to say anything against my boss in public or even behind. However, we are not where we are supposed to be. He has tried his best. Maybe his best is not enough compared to our challenges we have as a state. Remember, I said that this rot didn't start in 2015. It has always been there. As a matter of fact, when we came in, like they usually, I can't, because I'm in APC, I say that we made Aba on a good state, or that we made the state. The state was completely rotten. The only problem we have now, which I wrote in one of my papers, is the burden of gratitude, that was the heading of my writing.
Okay.
Burden of gratitude. I remember as a commissioner for finance, we were told not to compare government. So we didn't go about letting people know what we met on ground. And that is why the little he has done may not mean to a good number of people. But then we have room to do more. And we can do more under a different template. Whatever he has achieved today as an administration would have been done better if we have a different set of template of governance. And that is what I'm preaching. We are not going to manufacture people from moon or from sun to come and rule Abia. we are going to be the same people. But then there must be a change of template of governance. What we have now today is that same unbiblical code that has held us down for years. We need to move away from it and behave like other states, where we work for the people and not for the few.
Okay, before we talk about the change of template, in case you just joined us, it is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions right here on Flow 94.9 FM. This is the Flow of Garden State Friday edition. We're talking opposition parties in Abia State, especially as we're focusing on APC, the All Progressives Congress, and we've been talking to Chief Obina Riako, a chieftain of the APC, All Progressives Congress in Abia State, and the former Commissioner for Finance in Abia State. Of course, looking at some issues ahead of the 2023 general elections. Now, you're clamoring for a change of template, and the intrigues already playing out ahead of the 2023 general elections, and some factors, I mean, some issues are of key factors here. The issue of zoning, the issue of age, the issue of party politics also playing out. I mean, who should be the next governor of Abia State? Because we need to get it right. If you do not get it right, then we may have problems for the next 4 years or thereabouts. Now, my question is, what should be the yardstick for choosing the next leaders in Abia State? Zoning is already causing intrigues and causing ripples in across party lines now. Not only APC, PDP, and everywhere. We have issues of Abia North, Abia Central, Abia South, and some other persons are coming up to say, hey, it's old Aba and old Bende. So what should be the yardstick in choosing the next leaders right here in Abia State?
Only I have said it before, and I still want to reinforce it, that today most people don't talk or believe so much in party politics, as it were, and that is also what most young men and most dynamic people are also thinking, because party, as it were, has not really helped us. Now, with what is going on in the polity, emphasis is now on the individual. Who is that person that is going to deliver? Who is that person that is going to be the leader? What features, what qualities does he have? Not about party. Those days when MPN and UPP or UPN or UPP were invoked, those parties were known with their ideology. I know one used to be for agric. You see maize drawn as their symbol. You see some other MPN will also see education and housing. These things used to be the ideology of these parties, and your manifesto is drawn from this, from the ideology of the party, and of course the manifesto of the party. But today we have come to realize that both PDP and APC are almost the same. They are almost the same as a party. So there's no need shouting over party A or B. Our focus now should be, who is that person? Just like that brings us to the question you asked. What are the qualities we should expect, whether it's in PDP, whether it's in APC? Because no two states are the same. We have peculiarities in our state. Only if I take you to Lagos State now to go and be the governor, you'll be in autopilot, because the institutions are there, the structures are there. You are not going to reinvent any wheel. But if we take you to Abia, you need to work extra hard to achieve, because the structures are not there, the institutions are not there to support any of these things, any of these ideas you want to live with the state. Now, what are those qualities? We said that any leader come 2023, for you to qualify to rule Abia and to make meaningful impact, to bring about the desired change, you must have political will. I have described political will as that ability to take decisions that will bring about general good, no matter whose us is God. But you know that you are guided by what is right. So to that extent, we have identified problems of the state, where the state is not moving the way it should. But what has always lacked is that political will. Successive governments have developed cold feet in taking decisions. So that is one. Secondly, we must have that leader that has passion. You must be passionate about what you are doing. You must also be knowledgeable. Passion and knowledge should be a guiding principle of the new leader. And when you have this passion, it radiates. Everybody around you sees it. I can give you examples of passionate leaders around. Wike is one of those passionate leaders. He dreams his ideas, he dreams his project, he fantasizes over it, and you see it play out. Another passionate person is also Dave Omaya, and you see the way they follow up passionately about some of those things. Of course, my Oga also is also passionate. But then,
who is your guy here in this contest?
Yes. Let me continue with the next quality we expect. The next quality we expect from our leaders is that you must have zero tolerance to corruption, because fish rots from the head. What fish rots from the head? You cannot be playing ignorance. You cannot be looking the other way when these things are happening, because once you're able to set a precedent on some of these things, you don't need to go to every ministry to instill discipline. Once you set an example, everybody falls in place. That is the third quality. The fourth quality is that that leader must be you can't have a complete politician. 100% politician cannot develop political will. No, it doesn't work. Hardly you see a core politician that will have the political will to do everything. You must, as a full politician, you must have acquaintances, you must be looking at faces, you must be considering a whole lot. So for you to achieve that political will, you must be a technocrat, but with local knowledge. You don't just come from America and come and assume that America is Abia. No.
Okay.
We have our own internal issues. So these are the qualities we should expect.
All right, Chief Obi Nariaku, we are due for a break now. But just before we go for that break, I'm asking you a very sincere question, because there are rumors that you're running for the governorship of Abia State come 2023. Are you running?
I'm still consulting.
All right.
I'm almost done with the consultation. Very soon. I said very soon. You will hear it. Only it can't happen behind you. You must be one of those people to cover it.
Okay, I need to take a break. Now, when we return, we continue the conversation this morning on the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on Flow FM. Yes, indeed, it is still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, right here on Flow 94.9 FM, the Flow of God's own state. This is the last lap of the program. Quickly, we'll throw the lines open very soon. But just before then, in case you just joined us, we've been speaking with Chief Obi Nariaku. He's a former commissioner for finance, of course, and also a member of the APC, a chieftain of the APC right here in Abia State, of course, one of the opposition parties in the state, even as we're looking at the state of opposition parties in Abia State. And he's been speaking to us virtually. So we've talked about the yardstick for choosing the next leaders in Abia State, how prepared is APC in the state and the state of affairs in APC. Let's look at the Electoral Act. Of course, many persons have termed that as a game changer, and the Anambra polls, what played out in Anambra State, the emergence of Charles Soludo as the governor of that state. What is the hope of the common voter? I mean, the electorate, as we speak. Do you also believe that that piece of document that is now a law will be a game changer come 2023?
Yes, the electoral law is no longer an act now. It's not a law. It really addresses most of the challenges of the electoral system. Most importantly is that number of accredited voters now forms basis of summing up the total vote cast. Secondly, too, is that unlike before, where we said that the INEC officials have no right to cancel elections or to call for or to review whatever they churned out as result. The law also empowers them to cancel any election at the polling unit, where there is infraction. Now, it also made provision for people that are disabled. It also states the number of days. It elongated the number of days you have for election. It also provided for number of months you have for litigation, so that you'll not be in court while the election is going on, or you'll not be in court while campaigns are going on. So this has been major problem for people who are contesting. And of course, there's another one which the president wrote back to the National Assembly, that all the political appointees must resign before they contest. That one, he has done a memo back to the National Assembly to review it. What if they would do it is what we don't know. But most importantly is the introduction of what they call beavers, which has changed the dynamics of voting. Now, before now, you use your card, swipe through that the machine, and now do your fingerprint, thumbing. You put your fingerprint on the machine. It validates your card and you vote.
Okay.
But the beavers now suggest that they just like POS.
Yes.
You insert the card. It validates your card. Your picture comes up. You now align the face you are seeing on the machine and the person voting. You now put your thumbprint and now vote. What does it tell you? It tells you that all those people who have been holding voters' card, there are people that have 5,000 and they've been bragging with it, and that is why they've been making so noise, and they've been very disrespectful to their leaders in their ward because they have 6,000 cards that will be brought out on the election day and be shared. Those cards are lying fallow now. They are not going to be useful again. You know, our problem is that there is no orientation in Abia. People don't know about the processes. That is also why I'm happy. I expect a lot of conversation around the new Electoral Act and its implication on what we do. So it tells you that any card that does not belong to you, any fictitious card registered cannot be accepted on that day. There is no provision again for, incident forms. Now, if you are not able to vote that day because the machine did not capture your face, you go home. The next day you come back. So there's a provision now for overflow on that election day. So they do mop-up elections to make sure that the numbers are complete.
All right.
But now, what does it tell you too? It tells you that most of these cards, because these are machines, may not necessarily work. So some use their voters' card, place them on dangerous areas. You know, those voters' cards have chips. So now, when you slot it in, or when you insert it, it doesn't bring up your picture. So what I suggest is that go and renew your voter's card. If you have an old one that is already defaced, that you are aware that it can't function well, please go and revalidate it by getting a fresh voter's card so that you can vote.
Okay, I want us to move fast because we need to throw the lines open. Just before I throw the lines open, you were part of this project while you were Commissioner for Finance under Okezie-Ikpeazu's administration. I mean, the geometric, it is coming now. I mean, now the issues, the logjam between the EEDC and the geometrics has been resolved, and it is coming on stage with 24 hours power supply. What is the implication, and how do you feel about this project?
Well, this is not the time to play politics. This is one of the good news coming from Abia. And we need to take full advantage of it. We thank the government, we thank Geometrics, even though Geometrics predates this administration, but we don't discountenance the effort of the present administration, joining them to Afrexim as a host state, giving assurances about the of the recoupment, or how to recoup the funds. You remember, Geometrics borrowed from Afrexim to pay out EEDC and reinforce Abia zone. So, as a government, we needed to be there to reassure the investors that we are there to partner with them. So, kudos to the government. Now, the question is, how will this farm out? How will this play out so that we take advantage of it? I have said it before when these issues came up. By now, we should have a desk dedicated towards that geometrics and its implication for the state. We should be able to do what we call needs assessment. What kind of needs around Osisioma area? We should have also moved into redesign Osisioma, because if things work well, this industrial zone that is going to come up again around that area can dovetail to River State or Moma area. You see industries that will be springing up close to that area. So it means it requires a lot of work, where a total remapping of Osisioma, make provision for industrial areas, make provision for residential areas. Now you do the mapping of course, the infrastructure that will be provided. That's the needs assessment. But most importantly, is that that was an industrial area before most companies shut down. We also need to have database of all the companies there.
All right.
We need to have database of all the warehouses there, so that we can match-make people who are coming, who are relocating. So that as an investor, you don't need to start looking for a warehouse. Go and buy land and start constructing warehouse. All those warehouses that have been converted to churches, we get the owner. There's no way an investor will not pay higher than a church. The investor now, instead of going to look for land, going to look for building, he already has a factory. And you know that most of these factories are fit for purpose, for anything. Most of these warehouses. So what you now worry about is how to fit in your machines and start producing and plug in, because the power is there. So as a government, we need to have a holistic overview of the implication of geometrics, the economic importance, and we need to leverage on it so that we catch into the moment. We also know, as an investor, geometrics is not a Father Christmas. He will only invest where he's sure of recouping his money. So all those areas that are not accessible, we also make it accessible so that they can go and connect light, they can put in meter, they can go for enforcement. If they don't go for enforcement, and they can't really come up. So
we need to throw the lines.
I don't think you have given me enough time to exhaust on this particular topic. Maybe it will be another topic of discussion.
Maybe.
Thank you.
All right. I want to really appreciate you for your time this morning on the program, the platform on Flow FM. Former Commissioner for Finance, Abia State, a chieftain of the APC, Chief Obina Riaku. Thank you very much for speaking to us this morning.
Thank you, Oni, and thank you, Abians, for having me.
All right. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay.
All right, let's get to hear from you. You've heard him. You've heard the conversation. Interesting. 0808 182 6949. 0811 605 2949. You can also drop messages on 0906 510 8289. Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to the platform on Flow FM.
Hello, Michael.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
My name remains Comrade Manuel Loco. I'm calling from Abia this morning.
All right.
Yes, I had all Chief Obin Oriak, former Commissioner for Finance. Yes, I agree with some of the things he said concerning the situation in Abia. Michael, let me tell you, 2023 will be a year of a lot of miracles will happen in Abia. There's no two ways about it. Because this issue of farm trade from 4 will go in 2023. We will suggest such move. You will see people who win an election, even some people that you don't know, because they have shown so many things in their ward, their local government, their constituencies. Imagine somebody will come to be a governor or run to be a governor. You can never win election in your own polling booth. We will suffer such things because that belongs to all of us. Michael, look at former commissioner, what he said. Look at Ebony. Look at Rivers. Look at Akwa Ibom.
All right, comrade, your time is up.
Smaller people. Look at them and use them and compare in Abia. You know whether it's a political decay.
All right,
Abia needs a advantage, and we must do that.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Keep your comments coming. We're also live on Facebook, facebook.com/Flow949FM. All right. Okay, let's do this. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Oni.
You're welcome. Good morning.
I remain Agoyang.
You're welcome.
All
right.
Please, one thing I want to say. This bill of legislators, upper house are doing. Please let them include the women, though. Because the riot happened in 1929, Margaret Thatcher championed. They should include the women, because women are organized. So that if they can take over the project, good and fine.
All right.
I see former commissioner saying in Wike, the people who fought for Wike, he talked them. Wike is fighting alone because I'm not seeing good things from him.
All right.
Only to talk. He only faced that most at River State, executive power.
All right. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike Koni.
You're welcome.
This is Papa Man you calling from Omaya here. Please,
You're welcome.
I've heard what you people are saying, particularly Obinna Riak, the former commissioner for finance in Abia State. Then, Obinna, if I thought that you are the one to redeem map at the platform of APC, well, continue, go ahead. But for all I know, if you can withhold the firework of PDP, then you can get. I wish you good luck. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Michael.
All right, you're welcome.
Eze is my name. I am calling from Omalasulu.
You're welcome, Mr. Eze.
On opposition parties or the position of opposition in Abia State. Ever since the creation of Abia State, we have never had a virile opposition, especially with the return of democracy in 1999. The only time I am seeing the strong voice of opposition in governance is under OPC regime from 2015 to date. There are strong voices of opposition. That is what I want to make. Another point I want to raise here is the question of app. It is unfortunate that we have such a commercial hub that whose IG is supposed to take care of the financial needs of the state is still in a state of dilapidation. I think the former commissioner who happens to be engaged in the house has said before that our people need reorientation. Even if the federal government comes into Abba, the attitude, the negative attitude of Abba, environmentally unfriendly attitude, will not permit the federal government to do anything meaningful.
All right.
Let me stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us. Hello, good morning to you. That didn't pull through on our Facebook page. Ezekiel Elvis says the different opposition parties we have here in Abia State don't always stand a chance in challenging PDP during the course of every election in the state. As we speak now, it's only APC in Abia State that is ready to give PDP a run for its money in the coming election. But as we all know, their house is not in order at the moment, and it's clearly it gives the PDP the upper hand. We just hope to pray things change this time around the next election, because Abians deserve more better. That's coming from Ezekiel Elvis. Thank you for using the hashtag Flow at 5. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Michael.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Michael.
Yes, he's saying good morning. He is virtually.
I remember Mr. Prince Weluswagu from here, no Chobo. My pass goes to Mr. Riak. He has spoken like an intelligent man he is. Actually, I love the way he has educated me most important on that the use of givers and what it takes. Now, but my question is this, Mr. Riak. I'm not happy with you on the way you just, we've had a problem in Abia State APC. You said that 15 minutes meeting with the president has made the problem stop. My question is this: have those litigation in the court have it been withdrawn? That's my question. May God bless you, my brothers.
All right, thank you very much. God bless you too. Hello, good morning to you.
Michael, I stop on the way.
Okay.
This electoral deal that president signed. I don't know whether it will start work on 2023 or it will start from now.
It will start.
Because what's happening in Gopala, Imo State, I talked to the election because of kidnapping and the rioting over there. They can say every day announced that APC won. Which people that vote that one? My brother, that electronic transmission something, is it will be functioning on 2023 or I don't know whether it has been started.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello, good morning to you. Yes, good morning. Welcome. All right, you're welcome. Yes, I can hear you. Go on, please.
Anybody will listen to you gonna say you get wisdom, because the way they analyze these things, but it don't make me to understand some things why I don't even know about this electoral law. And we need people like you to come and study. We'll be lecturing people so people will understand what is here.
I really thank you today. But my question today, say all of us now APC people. But my question be say, this threat where would they carry fight for during the primaries? And one man election now, all these people where they Abuja, where they are here, you not go see them again. So my question now is just to come and fight within ourselves or to come and fight to take over the state. Because if really these people want to take over the state, I think what they will be thinking about is just to be one, just to take over the state. Not will be who will be. In fact, if these people take over the state, I don't think, I will see it's like they will be worse than these people because this is personal interest. It's not the interest of the state. That's what I'm saying there. Because if this is the interest of the state, some people will just say, okay, let it be. But everybody wants to be leader. Everybody cannot be leader.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Chief Onwubiko says the introduction of electronic voting into the National Assembly has put jittery into the ruling party in the state because since 1999 there has not been any election. They are rather written in hot. That's your allegation anyways. By the special grace of God, there will be big surprise. That's coming from Chief Onwubiko from Ubakala. All right, we need to step out of the studio. Thank you very much for joining us this morning and of course this week for the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, and many thanks to my producers Samson Eze and Ezine Okoro and the guys behind the visuals on our Facebook page, Stanley and Chinedu. Do enjoy the rest of your day. My name is Michael Oni.